You are Stephanie Alcantar. Ms. Alcantar, you're charged with possession of a controlled substance. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you. Okay, Alex.
Officers conducted a traffic stop on a vehicle with Texas tags missing and a front lights, or I apologize, on a car with the Texas tags missing, as well as a missing front license plate in Harris County, Texas. During the stop, the officers observed a strong odor of marijuana. The officers conducted a PC search and located a bag of marijuana underneath the passenger seat. The defendant was the passenger. Officers also found a bottle of Xanax under the front passenger seat, and the defendant claimed ownership of all drugs found. Marijuana weighed approximately 0.95 ounces, and the Xanax weighed 7.6 grams.
Okay, Ms. Alcantar, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Do you have a valid Texas driver license, ma'am?
I do have a lot.
Can you run her license, Alex, see if she's eligible?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have liability insurance in your name?
The car, no, that was in my car.
You're not allowed to drive unless you have car insurance on whatever car you're driving. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
I'm not talking about the case. From here forth going forward, I'm making the condition of your bond. If you're going to drive, you need car insurance in your name. And if you don't, I'm going to revoke your bond. Do you understand?
I understand.
I'm also ordering you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. You will be randomly tested. If I find that you're consuming any kind of alcohol or dope, I'm going to put you in jail. If you have a problem, man, you better stop. You better confront these demons on your own, because if you don't, then if you have a valid prescription for something, then you're welcome to take it from a legitimate doctor. But if you don't have a prescription for it, no alcohol, no marijuana, no pills, unless it's prescribed by a doctor. Do you understand?
I understand.
She's eligible.
Okay. So all you need is car insurance. If you get car insurance, I'll let you drive, but I got to know that you have it. I'm having you sign an affidavit with me, which is a promise you're making to me that you're not going to drive without car insurance and court approval. So once you get it, come back, show it to us, and then we can take this off.
Okay.
What do you do for a living, man?
I babysit.
How much money do you make a month?
40 a week, so,
Really?
I have theater.
Okay. And who do you live with?
Myself.
Given
My
a,
kids. Myself and my kids.
how many kids you have?
Four.
Do you get support for the children?
Yeah.
Are you married?
No.
Okay. You want to apply for an appointed lawyer, man?
Yes.
Okay. Deputy, do you mind giving an application? I'm going to give you an application. I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, you're going to get the pre-trial for your bond conditions, and then we'll have you take a seat, but don't leave until you speak to a lawyer. And we also need you to come up here and swear to this as well. All right, ma'am, come on up. We'll have you sign this, then we'll get you through the process.
Question, Wardell, page 4.
Good morning, Mr. Claxton.
How you doing, Your Honor?
Mr. Claxton, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. Officers were dispatched to a minor crash in Harris County, Texas. The complainant stated she was driving and the defendant started to merge into her lane and hit the right side of his car. When the complainant and the defendant pulled over, the complainant noticed that the defendant was the only occupant and could smell alcohol on his breath. After officers arrived, they observed a moderate odor of an alcoholic beverage and bloodshot eyes. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted. HGN was 6 out of 6, and the defendant refused to participate in the walk-in turn and one-leg stand. DIC was read and breath was consented to. The results were 0.092 and 0.087.
Any priority to be honest?
No, Your Honor.
Got it. All right, Mr. Claxton, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to randomly test you.
Yes, sir.
If I find that you're consuming any kind of alcohol or illegal drugs, I will put you in jail and you will not get any more PR bonds.
I understand, Your Honor.
Do you have a valid Texas driver license?
No, sir, I don't.
You're not.
But I'm in the process, when I had to file with Austin, I'm waiting on Austin to send me a license through the mail.
Did you recently apply or did you lose your license?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me why, guys, he lost his license?
Your Honor, the most recent we have is no insurance.
I'm going to have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive without a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance in your name.
Yes,
I
sir.
don't care what you need to do. I don't care where you have to go, who you have to haul. Don't drive.
Yes,
Don't
sir.
drive at all. Otherwise, I'm going to keep you. You understand? Mr.
I understand, Your Honor.
If you get a license and liability insurance, come back to us, tell us, and then we can take this restriction off. But until you come up and let us know, don't drive.
I won't, Your Honor.
What do you do for a living, sir?
I'm a professional painter, but I'm self-employed. Well, it depends, because I mean, sometimes I have work, sometimes I don't.
Roundabout, what do you think you make?
Well, on a weekly basis, I might make $400 or $500 or something like that.
Can you afford a lawyer?
No, I can't.
I'll have you fill out an application, okay? First, I'm gonna have you, well, we're gonna give you an application. We're gonna have you sign this affidavit promising us you're not gonna drive. I'll get you to Victoria Center, reset. Eventually, you'll get with pre-shop your bond conditions, and then we'll have you take your seat in the jury box while we find your lawyer, okay?
Okay, do I need to do that today?
All that happens today.
Okay.
Yeah. You're gonna be here for a while. At some point
What's this, Judge?
on Emiton, we're gonna have to go on the record later after he's done.
Okay.
Evidence.
Okay, Judge.
Thanks. All right, good morning, Mr. Enriquez. Mr. Enriquez, you're charged with evading arrest or detention. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On October 6, 2024, in Harris County, Texas, while on patrol, officers were advised by the complainant that there was a shoplifter inside Target that he had been monitoring. The complainant stated the defendant was concealing items from Target in his pockets and was seen passing all points of sale without purchase. The complainant met with the defendant at the exit door of the Target to attempt to stop him, and the officer observed the defendant run east on foot from the complainant. The officer then ran after the defendant approximately 100 yards, gave him commands to stop, and identified himself as an officer before the defendant was eventually detained. The officers were in full uniform and a marked patrol vehicle. Total amount the defendant stole was approximately $80.46.
So he has a bunch of theft cases, huh? I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All from Target and Walmart or what?
I'll look at them, Your Honor.
Mr. Enriquez, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward. You speak English, right? Okay, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of bond not to go to any Target whatsoever. Do you understand? If I put you in jail, you will not get any more PR bonds.
Your Honor, it appears that the thefts are from various locations, including CVS and Fiesta as well, the prior thefts.
Okay. So can you file no going to any, well, just do Target.
Target for now. Okay.
Mr. Enriquez, what do you do for a living? You're homeless. Why? Shh. When is the last time you've tried to get a job? That's great. Why stop?
He's about to close down this year.
I'll have you fill out an application for an appointed lawyer today. No, that's a felony case. So that'll be a different lawyer. You know what? Just don't even worry about it. I'll appoint him in the interest of justice. Pick up any. Man. What's her name?
Miss Roberta Russell.
Hello?
Is this Miss Roberta Russell?
Yes, it is.
Hi, ma'am. My name is David Fleischer. I'm the judge in Court 5, and I have Mr. Osborne in front of me, Mr. Kentrell Osborne.
Yes, sir.
So he's staying with you nowadays, right?
Yes, sir. I trying to have him out because he wants to go back to school, and I'm all for that, as long as he's trying to get his education.
I'm making that a condition of his bond,
Okay.
so that if he doesn't go to school, if he doesn't stay out of trouble, I'm going to keep him with me in the county.
Okay.
So
I believe he'll stay out. He didn't like this experience.
good. That's the point. There's a couple things that I want to make you aware of. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to put an ankle monitor so I know where he is at all times.
Yes, sir.
Number 2, I'd like to give him a curfew of 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. Can he
Okay.
live with you?
Yes, sir.
So are you okay with the curfew then?
Yes, sir.
Number 3, no drugs and no alcohol, no smoking marijuana, no alcohol, no nothing.
Yes, sir.
I have given him a lawyer. So if you see that he starts messing up or he does stuff that he's not supposed to, we need to know so that we can straighten him out. Please.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can you help me out with this?
Yes, I will. Definitely.
The only other thing I also need is Mr. Osborne to stay in touch with Mr. Schofield, his lawyer, so that we know where he is and what he's doing at all times.
Okay.
Now, you're in Longview, right?
Yes, sir.
How far is that from Houston?
Ooh, it's about a 4-hour, 3.5 to 4-hour drive.
If we let him out of jail now, he will be out within the next 6 to 8 hours. How is he going to get back to you?
My sister's paying for his bus ticket.
How's he going to get to the bus?
His mother now.
So they're going to pick him up?
Yeah, they'll pick him up from the jail. And my sister's go. She just didn't know when to go ahead and order his ticket. So he already paid for.
I'm going to let him out today, ma'am. I'm going to give him a PR bond today. And
Yes, sir.
just the only thing, he has already taken off on us 2 times. And I've let Mr. Osborne know that I'm not going to play this game again. If he takes off on us again, this is the 3rd time, I'm not going to give him any more PR bonds. It's not going to happen again.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir. I understand everything, and I will make sure he knows
Okay.
as well.
My most important is to be in school and no marijuana.
Yes, sir.
I'm not giving you
I'm
another
with you.
chance. Do you understand me, Mr. Osborne?
Sir.
Okay. All right, ma'am. Thank you so much for speaking with me, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Okay, take care.
Yes, sir.
Okay, guys, you ready? Did you hear the conditions for him?
Yes, I just don't have my office to decide this. All four?
It's on page 27. We're going to do drug testing in Longview because I think it'd be certainly unreasonable for him to come here if it's 4 hours away to do drug testing. So when you get called upon to do a drug test, which is going to happen all the time, you need to go to a Quest Diagnostics in Longview to take a test. Do you understand? Let's make sure there's one over there.
I'd be shocked if there's Quest, seems like everywhere.
I don't know anything about Longview, so I have no idea.
Yeah, there's one along your arm.
Okay, hey, Vic, I'm printing this out. Can I give this? Can I give him a piece of paper or no?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm giving you a piece of paper. This is the Quest Diagnostics in Longview. When you get called for a drug test, this is where you got to go to take a drug test, and you have to get the results to Mr. Schofield, and he's going to get it to me.
Okay.
If you don't, it's not going to end up well. I need to know that you're not using any dope. Do you understand?
Sorry.
No more chances. Okay, so we'll give him a PR bond now. He'll have the GPS prior to release, and we'll go from there. Let's see if we can abide. What? I can reinstate it, man. Yeah, do that. So I'm going to reinstate his bond. You don't need to do the paperwork for a PR bond. Just make sure that you get the conditions. So the GPS prior to release, curfew, no drugs, no alcohol, testing in Longview, and waive all fees. Thanks, Jess. No, it's for now. Let's just do a test now. Let's see what comes out and we'll go from there. How? Can you do that? Let's do this. Let's do this. I want to test within a week of release.
What was that, Judge?
I'm going to do a test 1 week after release. He has to get a test done 1 week after release. Well, and so what I'm going to do, I'm just want to confirm it's not going to be anything more. If it's just weed, then we'll do another test in 40 days. Make sure you also put that stay in school full time. Okay. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Hi. I see he's back.
Yes, Mr. Cobbs is back on docket. He bonded out.
Come up, Mr. Cobb.
He went to 49 promptly to go take his drug test, and they told him that he would have to have new bond conditions, and they did not administer the test. And I'm hoping that judge will reconsider the twice a week now that he has had some time in custody to think about moving forward with this case. And DVD is standing right here with
Want
me.
me to do less testing when he continues to test positive for things, one test after the other. Really?
Well, we did have 4 clean tests, Judge, and 1 dirty test. Mr. Cobbs has lost his job as a result of going into custody. So now he is also.
All I did was ask you to not to use any alcohol or dope, and you test positive for alcohol. Am I supposed to let you go, Mr. Cobb? Oh,
Take another, at the lab test, or I think, I've seen them be false, sometimes it be false positive, but
every test, you test positive for something, whether it's
Every
alcohol,
test.
whether it's cocaine, whether it's THC, whether it's Are you telling me that every test that you've done is a false positive? Is that what you're telling me?
Judge, there was one false positive, and it was for a very odd metabolite that the defendant obviously had not ingested. So he did have 4 clean tests. There was one test that came back positive for alcohol. Not making excuses, Judge, but and he has remained in full compliance.
I'm going to tell you now that this is entirely way too much drama for me. And so I'm at the point where I'm ready to set it for trial. If it's just too much.
Yes, Judge.
I mean, all I'm asking you to do is follow bond conditions. No dope, no alcohol. Do you understand, Mr. Cobb? I'm going to continue to test you. The problem is, can we do randoms once a week? Then we'll do that in an effort to let him try to get a job. But the problem is that, you know, they're going to randomly call you. And if they call you and you don't come down, what's going to happen? You want me to let you test less, even though you're testing positive. The only other solution I have is to do randoms, right? But if they call you, you have to come down within 4 hours to take a test. Are you going to be able to do that? If you say yes, then I'll test you only once a week. But if you miss your test, a warrant will issue. You understand? You're going to get tested once a week. Don't use anything. Something that's going to test positive, whether it's alcohol, whether it's cocaine, whether it's some kind of syrup, whether it's something that's put in a pipe. Know well what's going in your body, because if it comes out positive, I'm not going to continue to do this. And the next time, I'm just going to set this case for trial. It's just way too much drama. Is discovery complete?
That's the next thing we wanted to discuss, Judge. We do not have body cams back, although this was a TB that sat for 6 months. We have medical records. The defendant is not identified in those. And at this point,
Body cam, I don't know if it's going to exist in this case, Judge. So
How not?
Pardon?
Why not?
We've
Mr. Wood-
requested it.
Body cam?
We've requested a number of times and it just hasn't come back.
So let's do this. No, that's unacceptable. I mean, subpoena the officer here.
Yes,
The officer's got to be here. If he's not going to provide it, then he's got to come here. So let's do a week and a half. We'll subpoena the officer to come.
yes, Judge.
If he doesn't
Let's
come,
subpoena
then
today.
yeah, issue a subpoena to Teichum, give it a date certain. That way he knows that if he doesn't provide the body cam, he's got to come up here and answer why. And we'll,
and Judge, would I be able to reset my client's next setting to coincide with his felony court
Sure.
date? His felony setting is next on November
The 12th.
the 12th. Thank you.
I'm okay with that, but he's going to get randoms every week, once a week, and just abide by that. And then you'll be fine with me. I'm not asking for much. I'm just asking you to stay clean and stay out of trouble.
And Judge, finally,
I will waive for the hearing for the officer. I'll waive his appearance,
thank you.
okay? But he gets random once a week.
Judge, for the randoms, since it is a random, I can't have the Aver Health system purposefully send him a text message to test and treat, but I can make a condition that he is required to submit to a drug test each week.
But I don't want him to know the day.
Yes, I understand. That's
The purpose of being random, so he doesn't know what day it is.
that's just the only predicament there is with Aver Health that I can't personally contact them and have them set up a random one for each week. So
You're saying we can't do randoms a week, once a week?
I don't believe so. I can reach out to my supervisor and have her here, but as far as I know right now, that's not how a random system currently functions.
How does it, what's the difference? Yeah, contact your supervisor and see, will you?
Well, there's information that I don't know.
It's okay. Just if you reach out to them and see what I don't understand how we couldn't put someone on randoms once a week,
Judge,
you
I'll
know?
reach out just to double confirm.
Please. All right, just take a seat for me, Mr. Cobb. We'll figure it out.
What date would you like me to have the deadline for the body cam be?
What's reasonable, a week and a half?
So next Friday?
Sure. No,